Howdy doody, everybody. Brian here from quantlabs.net. So today is November 11th, 3:37 my time, Eastern Standard, New York time. And what we're going to talk about is the overall performance of global markets via the good old OANDA data for Forex and CFD. Never recommend to trade it, but data is okay. And I just want to compare it to a set of, just put up a private video. I don't do a lot of private videos, but I thought this was going to be a private video. Just go over to my blog at quantlabs.net/blog. Look for an article called Malaysia Crypto Call about winning $900 in real time with Bitcoin trading bot. So in that time, the bot so far, I guess 15 hours today is already up to 20 hours, as if you were trading one Bitcoin from today alone. Ethereum's doing well. The Bitcoin bot's roughly 80-85% win ratio. Today the Ethereum bot's doing pretty good at 75%, but the real profit's obviously going to be in Bitcoin. So that's been on fire. We're almost doubling our money between Wednesday and today, over 5-6 days, with one Bitcoin, with this new updated bot for Kraken and the Kraken futures market. So let's compare that performance of today with the usual standard outlook on MotiveWave using the OANDA data, looking at CFD and Forex data. So again, with the markets, let me just pull up the markets today just to show you where things stand performance-wise with the U.S. So here they are. We've got elect Joe Biden supposedly coming in. Markets are up. Dow's up 1.2, Nasdaq's up 0.5%, crude oil's up surprisingly $3. Some people are saying that's definitely a manipulated trade because of the supposed military. Don't ask. Russell's up 1.9, gold is down. Silver's up 0.04, Euro's up a whopping 0.1, 10-year bond up 0.01. But look at this. You got British pound against US dollar down. US dollar against Japanese yen down. But look at the star performer right now, which we can confirm Bitcoin is up 5.14%. When you factor in the crypto CMC 200 market, 3.95%, I can kind of agree with that. In England, it's 1.66 with the FTSE 100, and the Nikkei was up 2.05. So everything's up. That's looking good. So let's look at where things are projected to go with our long outlook on the harmonic scans here. So we have Australia, New Zealand. I agree with that. New Zealand's on a tear. And this is where things get a little wonky. Euro with British pound, we got along there. Euro against the Canadian dollar, along there, along with the Euro CHF. Now, is the Euro going up? Supposedly Euro and the US dollar has been up, but as I said earlier, it's down. Actually, it's up a whopping 0.1%. We're going to go out and buy ourselves a set of Rolls Royces with that kind of return. And then continuing along, we get more shorts. We got more shorts now on the British pound and the US dollar. One thing I want you to take away with all these excellent scores, you will not find a lot of assets, whatever they are, in US dollar. And that's because the US dollar is, as of today, an 8-month low. The US dollar has been tanking. A lot of it, I believe, is obviously the virus daily count in these states. We got Joe Biden, who's the elect president, and that fiasco coming out. There's a lot of uncertainty in the US dollar, and it's taken a hit. The people are going to ask, why is the markets up? Well, I'll tell you why the markets are up because of the Fed. The Fed talks, markets go up. They talk stimulus, the markets go up. So, and not just that, but when they talk about this no offense, dumb virus, this dumb vaccine to solve all the world's problems with this virus, that's part of the factor why the market's up as well, because it exudes that confidence. So even though it's a good thing, these are short-term pops, good news, sugar of the U.S. market. So, but these numbers don't lie. So continuing along, this is the one that has been fairly consistent, is US dollar in Swiss franc. This is a classic trade that you would expect to see as an excellent score. That has been in place now since Tuesday or whenever Joe Biden was, quote unquote, elected into the U.S. presidency. So that has now come about, that normalized type of relationship you can expect. And again, that's a classic safe haven trade for the U.S. dollar and the U.S. market. Another one I've been really fascinated by is gold. Gold is in this one with an excellent score and a rare long is the good old gold in Swiss franc. So that's good, and I believe the thing is there. Why is that? It's because gold, and the largest private holder of gold in all the gold warehouses in Switzerland is Switzerland. So that's why that affects that. Here's another interesting one as well. They are saying that copper is up, but we have a short. But this has come up, but has come back down. This is one of those really good early indicators to tell you how manufacturing is doing. And namely, I would think that's right out of China. So if you start to see copper move up, that's a good sign that maybe China is starting to move ahead with its manufacturing, because we know that if you are a person that knows about manufacturing, which is not me, but I will tell you, copper is definitely a base metal in a lot of manufacturing processes. So that's why it's been up, but you can see it's been going down lately, but it may pop up. So it's the first time I've seen it as an excellent score, but it's good to know that it's out there. But right now they are calling for a short. Now, we also have a very good one. If you want to make money in metal, put it into platinum. You can see that return right there on that big bar, which looks like it was from yesterday. These are 4-hour bars, so that's a big move with platinum. And as I'm going through all these, look at this. Now we get the Treasury excellent score, a long. We get another long of the 10-year, and now the USD 30-year. So even though we have good news coming out with this vaccine, and a lot of these are starting to flatline or go sideways, that's all fine. But let's talk about tomorrow. What will be the quote-unquote driver for the U.S. markets to be driven up? Well, right now it's the vaccine. These are exogenous events and exogenous news announcements. So we have no control on those. We have no idea when they're going to come around. So the markets react to them. They go up. Again, temporary. But the markets may come down without these vaccine news events. So we'll see. And I think that's why you're seeing the typical safe haven, Treasury going up, platinum going up. We've got gold and Swiss franc going up. So these are classic trades that are starting to take shape over the last since the announcement of November 3rd. They've kind of somewhat normalized on what to expect when things go wrong as a defense trade, and they're starting to come about. So we've got some more longs here. A few of these that I probably want to highlight here is something's going on with the British pound. I believe it's the Brexit talk. There's not a lot of confidence there. No good news coming out of it, and that's killing the British pound. Look at this. All the British pounds is getting killed, namely even in the U.S. dollar. Now, this is an interesting one. We got a long here, again, with the Canadian, the euro, and Canadian. So I won't sit here and say, is the Canadian dollar a safe haven? It may be. I'm going to leave it at maybe, but I'm seeing more and more of this. Definitely, here's the difference between, let's say, the euro and Canadian versus euro and the Swiss franc as a safe haven trade. Both are longs. You can see the ramp, the on-ramp movement that you can get with the euro Canadian, if that's true. So you may get some nicer performance with that trade versus just holding on to the good old euro CHF. And look at this, November 8th, that massive bar. I don't know what happened November 8th, but something went down in Europe and it went sideways, but that's a big move up in euro and CHF. So that's pushed the price up for that, and it's pretty close to its target level of that long on that harmonic scan. Here we have euro and British pound. That's an interesting trade. It's a long, and again, we got Poland, Australia, New Zealand, a long. Both those currencies are getting stronger, I got to tell you. Now, this is where I think the safe haven trade is. You should count the number of currencies we'll get with the Euro, Swedish. I do believe that these are going to be a really good safe haven trade when things go really bad. We'll be in the Swedish krona, or whatever they call it. Sorry about that. So Euro, Swedish looks good. Market's good here, so they go down. But when the markets go bad, you may start to see this pair go up. Another, that's a short. That's a short. Anything British pound is just getting killed right now. Now here's an interesting trade. As I reported, oil was up 3.04% now on Yahoo Finance. You can see it has been rising. This is a classic oil commodity currency. Canadian dollar, US Canadian dollar is going up. Now it's coming back down. That's an interesting one there. That's what I call an anomaly. Again, you start to see, again, 3, 4 of these US dollar Swedish trades. Now, I've gone from a score of excellent all the way to very good, and I stop at very good. So here is where it gets interesting again. Silver. Silver's up 0.04%. Up to a point, there was a lot of shorts being put on silver, whatever currency it's in. So we have two silver, actually it's a mix. It looks like a long here in Canadian and a short here, so that's a washout. But you got to watch these silver. I was going to say there may be some silver longs out there that we could watch for. So we have here, again, see, we're getting this mix of silver and whatever currency. But you can see these big down moves. So you don't want to be caught up in those with this when the shorts are being put out there. And again, this is what I call a hot capital order flow. This is where money is going, and it's been pretty reliable for a couple of months now on a lot of these calls. Now again, you get the silver and British pound, but there'll probably be a few washouts here. But mostly, I have to say it's mixed. It's really mixed. But it looks still more short. But it's possible that there may be some long calls happening now on silver. So silver may start to perform now as the markets fundamentally, let me repeat that, fundamentally start to turn back down, to go back down with the US dollar. And as I said before, you're not seeing a lot of currencies in US dollar because, well, the US dollar is at an 8-month low. So that's what I'm seeing. One thing I also want to highlight here is the Asian currencies, namely Hong Kong, Singapore dollar. They're not as strong as you want them to be or should be for whatever reason. I think that's a China security move. I don't know. Singapore, I don't know. I can't tell you. Japan yen is not doing as strong as you want it to be, and that's what I'm starting to think that the when everything goes to hell, it'll either be in crypto, Bitcoin namely, and maybe Ethereum as well. And I've talked about that in that private video I've highlighted. That's just going up right now. As well as I do think that Scandinavia, excuse me, is starting to prove itself. Wow, excuse me. And no, I don't have coronavirus. So here we are in gold. XAU. Okay, so we have XAU, Hong Kong, XAU, Japan along there, Singapore. But look at this. These wicks, down wicks, you got to be very careful of. But we have two longs of gold in Asian, Singapore, Hong Kong, but we still have a short call in US dollars. So what's up with that? Here now we are starting to go into the longer, higher. Oh no, it's a shorter duration of a long for a treasury for a very good. So again, it comes back to the treasury. Another long for the US Canadian. This is what I want to see. I think this is important. China, USD China is moving up. That's a pretty good long call. If it's possible, and you just saw the performance of copper, I think copper is one of those leading indicators that may be able to confirm the theory that maybe China's coming out of this virus, And you can also see we have now a long for the Chinese CNH, which is the yuan. So that is something to look out for. And to really firm it up would be the Chinese China 50, the China markets. And to trade that, to get exposed to that, would be through an ETF probably. Here's that safe haven trade. Again, you see the US dollar, Japanese yen, and again, more longs. So we've had two. So that's a total of 4 longs of USD Swedish. So that's really started to really tell me that Sweden will be a safe haven. How do I know that? If I look at, let's say, the 1-day chart and go all the way back. Okay, if you go all the way back to March, when that crash happened, look what happened to this currency. It went from, let's say, close 939 all the way up to 1040. So that's a safe haven play, and that's historically can confirm that. And now something saying in Swedish, especially in the Swedish krona, the currency there's something brewing, because now we've had 4 long calls for Swedish. Continuing along, we have USD Singapore. So again, notice it's not Singapore to US, it's US to Singapore. So money is either not moving into the US markets, namely the US dollar, or money's leaving the US. So something's brewing, but I can't, I mean, I could kind of maybe guess, but it's definitely political, and it's definitely the virus. Here's now the good old, let me just pull up my for chart here. Guess it's right here. We have a long the UK 100 gilt. Oh, sorry, that's a US FTSE. This is where I also get confused, because when you look at traditional stock markets out there, the ones that come up lately has either been the UK or France. Not seeing France, not seeing Germany in a long time, like a couple of weeks now. And the thing is, it's like, why the UK? Why is the markets the UK FTSE 100 on here? And something tells me that once the Brexit's done on the negotiating with Euro towards the end of the year, Boris Johnson goes, sorry folks, we can't get we can't get the deal done. Boris Johnson, I don't know, in the last day or so, put an announcement that he feels that UK will still prosper. Hey, I'm born in Britain. They don't put great in Great Britain for no reason. I think it will still prosper because when you look at markets between a trading pack, which is being talked about, is Britain or UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand. They're all part of the British colony. They all vote the same. They all have a very similar demographic across that trading zone. That would be looked upon as one of the most prosperous and best and highest potential growing trading pact out there, versus when you look at the EU, they're a bunch of basket cases, these folks, and they're not getting anything done. Plus, not only that, but when you got to deal with 26 countries or members, you're now getting into the realm of herding cats, and that's what the EU is becoming. Okay, back to the Asian markets. We have here Hong Kong. Japanese yen's got a long. Interesting. I can't say. Here's what I'm starting to see. We're starting to see corn. So this could be another interesting trade. You can see in the last few hours or days worth, it's moving up. This may be another safe haven, folks. Corn. Who would know? But this is agricultural. And when things go bad, agriculture can be another potential maker out there, because we all got to eat. And corn, and you'll see wheat in a minute, see where it's at. If it's growing too. And if wheat's going up, then yeah, maybe keep your eyes out for corn, wheat. I'm going to also put in sugar and see where sugar's at. But that one was a big surprise for me. So again, we're looking for some longs here. Up comes wheat. Where's wheat at? Oh, how'd you know? It's a long. Ain't that funny? Look at these big bars here. And it's moving, it's ticking up. So wheat might be another interesting one to watch. So if you're a futures trader, you know what to get. Look at this. We have the EU 50. It's a short. Okay? And that's the EU 50. but yet, oh, my mistake. Boy, what I just said about UK, I'm wrong. That was a short. I thought it was a long. So both Euro and UK are not doing well. But I still stand behind that. I do think once the Brexit's done, give it a short-term crisis, you'll start to see UK bounce back early next year. I think so. Okay, going back to what we thought. Okay, these are the interesting ones. Are these countries? These regions in the world: Czechoslovakia, Hungary, and Poland. This is another potential safe haven that people should consider. Here's Euro. We have a long in Czech, Euro in Hungary. Look at that performance right there. Not so much with the Czech, but I did put out some calls last week that yes, Euro and Hungary is moving up. Go figure. Poland, not much. But maybe, just maybe, this might be an interesting one to watch as well as Hungary. And looky here, we got more Sweden. Oh man, Sweden. That totals now 6 long calls. I'm not seeing it that much, but Sweden's definitely a place to be. Australia, Singapore, slight move up, a washout there. Now, as I said before, with the France, this comes up. This is the last very good. Last one, again, a short. What can I say? But I do find it interesting that France and UK 100 do come up for the markets. Nothing else. But as I said, if you go through this list, there's very, especially currencies in US dollar, doesn't exist in these outlooks. So it says something about the US dollar. So we'll leave it at that. Hopefully you got something out of it. Thanks for watching. Have yourselves a good day.